Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Sure is.
Feels like Saturday by that point.
But you gotta let it sink in.
You gotta let it marinate, right?
Yeah. Lot going on again today, as usual. We got a jam-packed show. We probably have, 15, 20 minutes worth of hardcore great stuff jammed into just 2 hours.
That's an awful lot.
It's a lot. So be prepared. Yesterday, 3 whistleblowers from the FBI appeared in front of Congress, and Representative Jim Jordan set the stage. It was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. There's, that bad things are happening at the FBI, but they really kind of drove it home. Here's Jim Jordan.
We've talked to over 24 whistleblowers. People have come to us. We've interviewed several of those, and today 3 of them. 3 of those brave whistleblowers and a lawyer who represents them will tell us their story. They will tell us what happened, what they saw, and then what happened to them because they were courageous enough to report it to Congress. And I just want to tell you guys, get ready. Get ready, because these guys are going to come after you. You know they are. Last hearing we had 2 journalists, Democrats, 2 Democrat journalists sat right where you guys did, and these guys tried to get them to divulge their sources. Someone needs to tell them how the First Amendment works. Mm. And while Mr. Taibbi, one of those award-winning journalists sitting right where you're sitting, was testifying, guess what else was happening? The IRS was knocking on his door. Mm. So get ready. But I know you're up to the task because you came forward in the first place. Thank you for your commitment to the Constitution, the First Amendment, the rule of law, and for your willingness to come forward and tell Congress what you've seen, what you've witnessed. Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Really appreciative. Democrat Linda Sanchez.
Who's great.
Wow.
I like her hair. It's really awesome.
Yeah, the purple streaks. Yeah, really nice. Really, really nice, especially in Congress. I like that a lot.
Not a problem.
It's not a problem.
She can wear her hair any way she wants.
I think we just said we liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good accents in her hair.
The way you said it, though.
Huh. What? No, I think all Congress women should have purple hair streaks.
I will say it looks good on quite a number of women.
Uh-huh.
Linda Sanchez, not one of them, I think is the issue I have.
Well, Marcus Allen, not the football player, not the Hall of Fame football player, but FBI agent Marcus Allen was one of the whistleblowers. And so she asks him about his Twitter account. This is fascinating.
Thank you. Mr. Allen, have you ever used Twitter? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
I have utilized Twitter, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and is your account at Marcus A970500645?
That is absolutely not my account.
Okay, that's not your account. Well, on December 5th, 2022...
Pause it for a sec. Doesn't let that deter her at all.
We're still going. We're going on.
That doesn't stop her. That's absolutely not my Twitter account. Okay, well, I'm going to go on December 9th. What? I just told you it's not my account. Goodness. What are you going ahead with it for?
And normally she should be smart enough to know this, but
she's butt stupid. She's not smart enough to know anything.
Never mind then.
Yeah. All right, there's more.
Under the name Marcus Allen, retweeted a tweet that said,
That is not my account, ma'am.
It wasn't Marcus. That was
you
Marcus
haven't
Allen
let me finish the question,
Might have
sir.
been the football player.
You haven't let me finish the question.
Boy, that voice.
And the time is mine.
I can't.
On December 5th, 2022, an account under the name of Marcus Allen retweeted a tweet that said, quote, Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th, retweet if you agree, end quote. Do you agree with that statement? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
That is, I don't.
It's not my account.
That's not my account at all.
I'm asking whether you agree with that statement, yes or no?
Can you please rephrase the statement?
Yeah. Do you think
the gentle lady has expired.
staged January 6th? I just want him to answer this last question.
Yeah, he'll answer. I'm just telling you your time's up.
Do you believe that Nancy Pelosi, do you agree with the statement that this person tweeted that Nancy Pelosi staged January 6th?
That's unbelievable.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yield back.
Oh, wow. You really got something out of him there, huh? Wow. She got a yes or no answer out of him.
Boy, I'd be tempted actually to respond.
I mean, that is unreal.
Define staged. What do you mean by Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, you can't.
Was she aware of what was going to happen?
That is unbelievable. It's a mockery. They're making a mockery out of our nation. And I'll thank you not to mock. But they continue to do it anyway.
Yeah,
they just continue to do it. I can thank them not to mock all I want. They're going to continue to mock.
All right.
I mean, have you ever seen anything like it?
I mean, asinine. It's just, we are not a serious country.
The guy tells you it's not his account. What do I have to answer to his account for when it's not mine?
So, Pat,
I've got nothing to do with it.
I'm currently scrolling through Keith Oberman's account.
Okay.
Pat Gray.
All right.
Is this your account is Keith Oberman with two N's?
No.
That's not.
No, that's not my account.
Well,
it's not my account.
What do you have to say about this particular tweet?
Do I agree with his statement? I can already tell you, no, I don't.
I mean, that's exactly what that was.
No, I don't.
How ridiculous! She didn't need to reference a tweet to ask that question.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
She could have been. Forget
Bizarre.
it. These people are just a frickin' joke.
I was going to give her some kind of break and say that she had to be smarter than that, but you're right. She's not.
She's just butt stupid. I mean, that's unbelievable. And the tone of her voice, she should never be heard again in Congress.
That's true.
Unless, as Jeffy might point out, she's coming from the kitchen. And even then, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Ring a bell or something. We don't need to hear you.
Right.
That's rough.
That is outrageous.
Boy, can we? I almost feel like we should promise the audience to never again play a Linda Sanchez clip, but you never know when it might be newsworthy again. But
I know.
Rough.
Even he pointed out, maybe it's the football player. I don't know, but it's not. It's not mine. So what are you continuing with the question for? So weird. Well, it wasn't long before chaos ensued, of course. Walk us through what we're about to see here.
Oh, okay. So this is still Marcus Allen, and
is it Marcus Allen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No, it's not quite.
Okay,
not quite. Right. And so the Democrats are upset because they haven't been granted access to the whistleblowers. Well, because like Marcus Allen himself, he didn't want to meet with them. Would you?
No.
I've got information that I want to share. I don't trust you.
Right.
And so they try to make a big deal on the left that Jim Jordan is holding back, evidence or whatever the hell. And what is so laughable, and you just catch it, and I wish he had really hung on to this longer. You'll hear during this exchange, this chaos, Jim Jordan talk about, you guys depend on anonymous whistleblowers. You come up here when you guys had control. It's like, the rules for thee, man, they don't apply to the Democrats. And anyway, so that's the whole context of this, because this is where the chaos starts, though.
I yield back.
Chair, recognize the gentlelady from New York, Ms. Stefanik.
I yield to the chair. Excuse me, Mr. Chair. I think you were going to indulge the Congresswoman from Florida and her point of inquiry.
The gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding that...
You're making a point of order?
No, I'm asking you a question.
Okay.
A point of inquiry.
Okay.
Debbie.
It's my understanding that the minority in this committee under the rules is entitled to the same testimony, information, documents that the majority is entitled to. So, I mean, I'm not aware that you're able to withhold information from the minority that we would need to use to prepare for.
When it comes to whistleblowers, you're not. And I would just remind the committee, remind everyone. Look, when it comes to whistleblowers, you are not.
You pause this real quick. The Democrats spent the entire day trying to say, these aren't whistleblowers. These are conspiracy theorists. These are bad people, in our government. These aren't whistleblowers. So that's the technicality they're trying to get on here. Yeah.
It's shocking that the gentleman.
That's not right.
It's shocking that the gentleman.
Talk so much about the whistleblower and the impeachment.
It's shocking that the gentleman from New York would state that
we had
when you were part of an investigation with an anonymous whistleblower.
Mr. Chairman, these individuals haven't been declared whistleblowers.
I can't hear 5 people at once. Can we have regular order?
Mr. Chairman,
Chair recognizes it's.
I'm inquiring, and I was not.
And I've told you. that when it comes to whistleblowers, you are not entitled to it. That's
These
at the discretion of
individuals-
Mr. Allen.
Mr. Chairman, these
And he
individuals
said
have been determined
he has
not to be
agreed to that.
whistleblowers. These are not whistleblowers. They've been determined by the agency not to be whistleblowers.
Oh,
Are
the
you deciding
FBI.
that they're whistleblowers?
Yes, the law decides. Did you not listen to Mr. Levitt's testimony? Did you not read the law? The
His
law
attorney
decides
is
that they are
asserting-
whistleblowers.
his attorney
the
is
chair
asserting that
recognizes
they are
the gentle
whistleblowers.
lady from
The
New
law
York.
has not
The
determined
gentle lady
that they
from New
are
York has been
whistleblowers.
recognized.
The law has not determined they are whistleblowers. His attorney is just asserting that.
Gentle lady from New York.
Wow.
So the FBI doesn't think they're whistleblowers.
So the people for the agency that is being whistleblown, they're the ones who get to decide if they're whistleblowers or not.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Deb, that's good stuff. I can't take it with these people. I can't take it. So at the end of the hearing, FBI agent Garrett O'Boyle shared a message for anybody in the FBI who might want to come forward as a whistleblower in the future. It's not pretty, as you can imagine.
No, it is not.
All of the hardships you've gone through. If one of your really good friends, your former colleagues, came to you and said, I have this thing that is being covered up, and I think the American people need to know about it, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them first to pray about it long and hard. And I would tell them I could take it to Congress for them, or I could put them in touch with Congress, but I would advise them not to do it.
You would legitimately try to protect one of your colleagues from doing what you have done.
Absolutely.
And how do you think that solves being able to shine light on corruption, weaponization, any kind of misconduct that exists with the American people?
It doesn't solve it. But the FBI will crush you. This government will crush you and your family if you try to expose the truth about things that they are doing that are wrong. And we are all examples of that.
I can't think of a more sobering way to end a hearing. I yield back.
Wow. Sad.
Very sad.
Really sad.
That's where this nation
It's
is.
a sad commentary on our country right now.
Yeah, and
you know it's true.
Kyle Seraphin, who was up there, he started a fundraiser for Garrett O'Boyle at GiveSendGo.com. I just retweeted it. If you want to check it out, already close to $80,000 have been raised.
Nice,
because these guys have been.
They've lost everything.
Yes,
they lost their homes. They're denied access to their property. I mean, the FBI has just squashed them. As he said, they'll crush you. And they have. They've crushed these people.
Yeah, so they're not paying them, but they won't allow them to get another job either.
Right.
What the hell?
Right.
This country
suspended
is gone.
without pay, but you can't get another job. Wait, what?
How is that even legal?
I don't know. I honestly don't know how it is. I don't know. And to that larger end of trust of our government institutions and everything else that we've learned to distrust in this country. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries yesterday was asked for his thoughts on the recently released Durham report.
By who? I could say it wasn't from me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hakeem.
Do you have a reaction to the Durham report, and are you concerned that this could cause a lack of trust in the FBI moving forward?
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to closely review the Durham report, but as far as I can tell,
what have you been doing with your time?
Been out for days.
This is another example.
Here we go. He knows
generally
about it. He knows about it.
Of right-wing conservatives.
Oh, good gosh.
In terms of their reaction to it.
My gosh.
Trying to make a mountain out of a molehill.
Oh, really?
And this is what the extreme MAGA Republicans on the Judiciary Committee and on the Oversight Committee have been doing throughout the year.
Making a mountain out of... They made Mount Everest out of nothing. There wasn't even a molehill there. This whole Russian collusion thing was made into the Mount Everest of scandals for 4 years. And there was nothing there whatsoever. Nothing, according to the Durham report. After 4 years of investigation, they found nothing. No wrongdoing whatsoever on the part of Donald Trump or his campaign.
And anyone who said that it was nothing while they were building Mount Everest was pushed off the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's MAGA Republicans who are building these mountains out of molehills. Oh, my gosh. I can't stand these people. I dislike them with all the intensity of 10 trillion white-hot burning suns.
Just 10 trillion.
10 trillion. Maybe more. No, it's not just 10 trillion.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I think it's gonna go up now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think inflation has made it 15 trillion now. It's 15 trillion
I think it should
burning suns.
I think it should match the national debt.
It is 32 trillion white-hot burning suns.
There you go. It's got to match the debt.
I like it.
Wow.
Madness, man.
All right.
These people hate this country.
I think we have a bingo winner, but that is teeny tiny.
Yeah, something's wrong with the screen in here, guys.
Megan in Texas.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Megan in Texas, hi. You're on the Blaze. Hi.
Good morning. I don't know how your day's going, but mine's going pretty well because I do have bingo.
All right.
Nice.
Good job. And where did your bingo happen?
I noodled it out, and then I heard Biden say, "Let's go, Brennan. I agree. By all that is good, right, and holy." Drank from my paper box water, and I will thank you not to mock my answer.
Okay.
All right. Diagonally
Diagonally right across the page. All right. So you give them all the information so we can get you your prizes?
Yes, Daniel was lovely. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Morgan. Appreciate it.
Daniel, you are lovely.
Megan.
Megan's
Megan.
right.
Yeah, Morgan. Megan. Thank you, Megan.
Misname her.
Appreciate it. Where in Texas are you?
Down in Houston.
Oh, okay.
I actually came in and met Jeffy and Keith, but you claimed you were sick that day.
Yeah, he's too good for you, Megan. He just pretends.
All right. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thanks for listening.
Awesome.
All right.
Down in the great city of
right.
Houston, Texas, one of the best cities on the planet.
Is it though?
One of the most highly underrated cities on the face of this earth.
I feel like that's
My
not
family
true.
was just down there a couple of weeks ago, and came back saying, "Man, I forgot how much better a city it is than Dallas."
Is that a
"Yes,
quote?
That's what
Is
I've
that a
been
quote?
saying. Yes, from my wife. I forgot how much better it is than Dallas. I'm like, yep, I know, right? I've been saying that the whole time. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to call her?
You know what? I think I do.
Can I just say, as one who has lived in New Jersey and Houston, I actually rate New Jersey above Houston.
My gosh.
Oh, no, stop.
100%.
Well, yeah, when you go to the worst part of town and live there,
I lived outside of
your
town, too.
Your experience is not going to be as
Right.
good as if you live in the burbs and you commute to the city from time to time.
I lived in the city and in the burbs.
Yeah, you lived in the worst parts of it. You lived in a complex where a guy barbecued his girlfriend.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You can Google it.
That's not the best part of town.
You can Google Houston.
One guy barbecues his girlfriend.
And
besides
suddenly
Pat.
the whole area's got a bad rep.
Pat. That was after
Keith
I
is
was
so
there.
picky.
That was after I was there, I'd like to point out. It wasn't me that did that.
Okay. But yeah, thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan, for listening. And
so-
nice bingo has just happened. So she gets the $30 worth of merch from PatGrayShop.com and the dozen cookies from Kexi.
Pretty sweet.
And if you would like to play later today at the top of Pat Unleashed on Twitter, will be next week's bingo card. So play along, and then if you get bingo, 888-900-3393.
And you could come away with the same
You're the first one to
incredible
call
stash of prizes.
and
that
talk
Megan
to-
You got to be
gave
the first one to call me.
What was it?
Get
What
on
was
that.
it? Lovely Daniel? What did she say? Daniel's...
Yeah, something like lovely.
Yeah.
Was it
Is
lovely?
it the lovely? And now it's the lovely Daniel. Regardless of what she said. He's now the lovely Daniel.
That's nice.
You like
Isn't
that?
that nice?
Yeah, that's special.
Yeah. All right. So Hakeem Jeffries was also asked about Representative Cori Bush, who just introduced calling for $14 trillion in reparations. So they're trying to get this reparations
They sure
bill
are,
passed.
man.
$14 trillion for black Americans. Wow.
Yesterday, Cori Bush introduced a bill calling for $14 trillion in reparations for black Americans. However, critics are concerned that the bill won't pass due to GOP opposition. So my question to you is,
Racism.
why do you think
Right.
so many people on the right oppose the call for reparations?
Well, I haven't taken a look at.
Pause it for a second.
What does this guy
What has
do
he
with
been
his
doing?
time? What does he do?
How stupid a question is that?
Right.
Why do you think the GOP is so against reparations? I don't know. Because they're not responsible for slavery? How about that? Nor is anyone currently today
Oh my gosh.
a slave.
You just gave me a great idea.
Nor have they been on for 175 years. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Hold on. Let's compromise on this reparations thing, guys. Listen, let's tax card-holding members of the Democrat Party, since they're the ones that perpetrated slavery in this country.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Okay.
All right, we got this. Okay.
But maybe we could put we could post the bill, but I don't think Hakeem would be able to read it because I don't know what the hell he's doing in office.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to look at that yet.
I mean,
that's all we hear from the guy.
I know.
What are we doing?
We should start making note of when he's asked questions, how many times he says,
I haven't had an
had a
opportunity
chance
to look at that yet fully.
So what else did he have to say other than he hasn't looked at it? Here it is.
That Representative Bush introduced, so I can't comment on its merits.
But I'm going
up
to
or
anyway.
down.
Absolutely.
But
I'm going
we know generally that the American people want to see opportunity created in every single zip code.
Every zip
That's
code.
my objective.
Yeah. Opportunity.
In this position that I'm privileged to hold.
What does that have to do with
We want to
reparations?
uplift everyone.
He wants to uplift everyone.
And of course, make sure that we deal with injustice.
I can't take
whether
it.
that's racial injustice, social injustice, or economic injustice.
What
wherever
about
it's
climate injustice?
So
What
you
about
don't want to
that?
deal with the injustices and make things right, Pat?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Wait, that has to do with
We want
opportunity?
to create opportunity in every zip code.
Every zip code.
Okay.
These people
What does that have to do with reparations? The guy's the worst. These people are just horrific. They're horrific.
But it's hitting home, right? I mean, it's hitting home. We had
It seems to be happening, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, let's see.
They got momentum
Corey,
right now.
This is Cori Bush when she was making the announcement of her exciting bill.
Exciting.
United States has a moral and legal obligation to provide reparations for the enslavement of Africans. Black people in our country cannot wait any longer for our government to begin addressing each and every one of the extraordinary bits of harm, all of the harm it has caused since the founding.
Okay. Would you rather be somewhere else? Go there if you would,
please,
and see if you fare better,
please,
under any other regime on this planet.
I'd like to think she doesn't believe it, but she does.
She wants reparations for all black Americans. You're a congresswoman. You're a black woman in Congress in the United States of America. Tell me how you've been harmed.
I know.
I'm listening.
And we have all the reparations talk in California, right?
Yeah.
We've got Cori Bush from Missouri trying to institute something nationally for reparations, and it's hitting home.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we've got there was a video of a guy from Tampa, Florida, a city that I would put over Houston any day, but Tampa Bay, Florida.
It's because you haven't spent enough time in Houston.
But there's a guy speaking in front of the Tampa City Council who believes that there should be reparations as well.
Oh, good.
All this nonsense, homelessness, and all this other garbage y'all talk about, police violence and all this stuff, don't nobody care about that.
Don't nobody care about that.
Don't nobody real care about that. We
Don't
care
nobody.
about our reparations. And we have to put white people on notice that we want our reparations. That our
Good luck with
foreparents
that.
and us, we didn't work for free and underpaid and all this nonsense.
You have
and the
worked
white
for
folks
free?
get away with it. And they talk about the great city they're building. No, we want our reparations. $3 million per person.
Okay, good.
$3 million per
Good luck with
person
that.
right here in this city. That's the only thing black people got to care about.
That's the
all
only
this other
thing.
little nonsense y'all talk about, we do not care about.
Oh. They don't care about
Okay.
anything but $3 million per person.
That's right.
Okay.
It's hitting home.
So wait, hold on a second. If you get your $3 million, bro, if you get your reparations, does the government that owes you this money, do they get their chunk back, half of that in taxes?
Yeah.
Is that tax free?
Yeah.
That's what they. That's
It
what
has
they,
to be,
They
right?
will believe that
It
it's
has to be.
tax-free. Absolutely.
Has to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So who pays? Do black people pay too? Now, do only slave owners or people with ancestors who were slave owners, are they the ones who pay? Or does everybody pay regardless? And does everybody receive even if they don't have ancestors who were slaves? How black do you have to be? Do you have to be 100%? Do you have to be 1/116th? Do you have to be 1/2000th%?
Right.
What is the percentage here? How much blackness needs to be running through your veins, and does it have to include slavery, or does just every person who looks black get $3 million.
Well, the original plan in California, they actually did say that they were going to have.
It was every black person.
Nah, I think the original plan that they first proposed.
What they were just saying a week or two ago was every black person.
Right. That's what I'm saying, because originally it was proposed that there had to be some. There was going to be. You had to prove that you had a bloodline. Absolutely, and then it was like, well, now we don't care about that. Yeah. Everyone gets it.
So if you're mixed race, do you end up writing a check to yourself? How does that work?
No, that's a good point. Like Barack Obama, does he write a check to himself because he's part white? He doesn't like to admit that, and I think it's racist to even say that he's part white.
Right.
Yeah.
But
you know how it's played. You got it.
But he is.
Yeah. We're not supposed to know that.
No, we're not supposed to. That. We're not supposed to say it. That's for sure.
Don't address it. No.
Jeez. I don't know. This is just madness, and it does seem to have momentum.
It sure does.
I mean, California, Tampa, in Washington D.C. It's growing.
It's starting to grind. Yeah, starting to make some inroads.
Sure is. Wow. I mean, in California alone, they were talking about was it 800 million? Yeah, it was almost $1 trillion that they were going to have to pay out.
And even Newsom, the governor, was like, we ought to not do that.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
I still want to be president someday. Let's not attach my name to this.
Right.
I've got some train tracks I need to try to pay for.
Even Gavin Newsom was like,
right.
I'm not
so if
with
you
that.
are a black American living in California, could you, in theory, get a reparations check from your state and a federal check too? My goodness. Wow, that's
interesting.
Like fun.
Yeah, that does sound like fun, doesn't it?
Okay. Look at me. I'm black and moving to California now.
I know.
Where did our Tampa resident come up with the $3 million? Where did he come up with that?
That was there was an original line somewhere in the California thing that was $3 million, wasn't it?
No, it was 5. And then it was, I think, reduced to 1, wasn't it? Or was it?
I thought San Francisco, the original
they started
San Francisco.
at 5. Maybe they lowered it to 3.
Anyway,
there was a San Francisco committee that originally came up with $5 million.
With
5 million.
Okay, but not 3. Yeah, okay.
And so now California's down to what, 1.2 million?
Yeah, I think so, and that's over your lifetime.
So maybe he just came up with, what sounds good to me? $3 million.
Yeah, it sounds good to me
Split
too.
the difference.
I wouldn't turn down $3 million.
That's why I got news for you. I identify as being an African American right now.
Man, I don't know. I just how do you get?
And
through
so
all
someone
this?
like a Rachel Dolezal, or a Sean King
identifies.
So are they writing checks or cashing checks here?
I don't know, but I got to find a way to get $3 million. I'll tell you that.
And really, since it was Great Britain who instituted slavery in this country, shouldn't they be paying the reparations? Should we decide on reparations? This should come from Great Britain.
Okay,
they're the ones who saddled us with slavery.
I'm not opposed to that. All I know, Pat, is I want my $3 million.
Okay,
that's all I know.
You really hung up on
and
this.
don't nobody care about the rest of it.
Thank you.
Don't nobody care about it.
Thank you.
So I don't want to hear about homelessness. So what?
Violence in the streets.
Police brutality? Don't nobody care about that.
Nobody care about that.
So
we are simultaneously the greatest nation to ever exist and the dumbest nation to ever exist.
Well, we certainly are getting dumber.
Yeah, I know, man. This sucks.
I never thought we'd get to this place, but here we are. Here we are. We can't determine what a woman is. There's 97 genders, and now we're going to pay $3 to $5 million per person for slavery reparations. But nobody really knows who gets it, who pays it. Is it tax deductible? Are you going to be taxed on the $3 million or $5 million?
No.
If it actually gets to that and it becomes a reality, that is a clear end of this nation. There's not a chance in hell this nation survives that.
This fine gentleman in office, Joseph Robinette Biden, will be all for it.
Probably. Can you imagine the resentment of our tax dollars going to something like that? And the division that would cause?
Exactly what the Marxists want.
Jeez.
More division.
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393.
Where did this bumper come from?
No doubt.
Me and Jeffy are rocking to it.
I don't know.
Rocking
It's
the
new,
bay.
right? Got some tweets here. Just Quiz Proton M1.
Y'all make your handles easier for Pat.
Is that
Come
Marcus
on.
Allen?
Yes, this one is.
Okay.
This one is Marcus Allen. The left thinks if they redefine our words, they'll be able to force us into submission. How do they not know what a woman or a whistleblower is?
Right.
Chitty Chitty Fang Fang tweets, hey, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Long Island, circa 1989 called. They want their wet perm look back.
That's her look, man. Back off.
Sure is. Generation Y outcast. So I identify as a California resident. I'm an albino black man who
There
has a
you go.
lineage of melanin deficiency.
Amen. Amen. Whatever I got to check to get the 3 million check,
Yep.
I'm good.
Gonna do it. Angie Crouch, I fully support reparations for every single slave currently living in America.
Yeah.
I'm 1/8 Black Dutch. Does that qualify for reparations?
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll have to see, because I don't know.
100%.
Done any of the calculation.
If we get that far in this discussion, it's over.
We will.
Oh,
we
yeah.
will get that far.
Then it's over. Officially
I
over.
know.
Right
I
now
know.
it's just unofficially. It will be official.
Remember the gas stove ban that was so ridiculous? What a conspiracy from
Right.
nuts on the right. That is just crazy talk. Nobody's talking about a gas stove ban. Well, except for New York State. They just passed one. And Palo Alto, California, they just passed one. But other than that,
And these were the bans that were never going to happen.
right.
You might think that the U.S. government is coming for your gas stove. That is a new and absolutely ridiculous one.
Fox News and Republicans are up in arms because they say the government is coming to take
Your
your
gas
stoves.
stoves.
What
Republicans are saying is, damn it, they're going to take your gas stove.
GOP has been stoking a ridiculous new freakout about gas stoves. No one is taking your gas stove.
The right-wing freak-out over the use of gas stoves is merely the latest in a long series of made-up culture war battles designed to enrage and rile up their right-wing and paranoid base.
Republicans are prone to conspiracy theories, whether it's, the kooky, like JFK Jr. is coming back from the dead to run with Trump, or the sort of
We're all over that
duplicitous,
one.
like this administration's coming to take away your gas stoves.
Yeah, so silly that New York State just passed one, and so did Palo Alto, California. But they carved out a space in Palo Alto for a world-renowned chef who said, okay, I'm going to sue the city of Palo Alto if I can't install gas stoves in the new restaurant I'm opening up. So they said, oh, okay, well, you're the exception, Jose Andres. Jose Andres gets an exception to the Palo Alto gas stove ban. So
apparently Jose doesn't care about climate change.
No, he doesn't. He cares more about his food.
I
And
know.
apparently
So they caved.
the food's going to... So they caved.
Yeah, they caved.
Yeah.
I saw a report from the World Meteorological Organization that estimates that there's a 66% chance the world will experience warming of 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, at least temporarily, by 2027. Now, that number, 1.5 degrees, that's the breaking point for the climate change in check. So that extra heat from El Nino weather phenomenon, coupled with human-caused warming, like using gas stoves, will likely make the next 5 years the hottest on record. So be prepared. All right, just be warned.
And not a single one of their predictions has ever come true.
And it's all
Not one.
Wait, hold on.
It's all
Not
likely.
one.
So likely, possible, could,
won't. That's my word for
That
it.
doesn't say that in a won't. It doesn't say that here.
Happen.
Okay, hold on. So you take that and obviously rising seas that apparently affect North America, they're saying, more than other parts of the world. And you take that and they're saying that the weight of New York City, the buildings, the 1.7, I forget how many pounds we're talking about, whatever it was.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Can you play the animation there of what New York City? It's going to be, quote, the modern Venice. eventually.
Oh, it's just going down like that, huh?
Down into
the whole darn
because
thing?
you see how cute that was? How the oceans are rising so high that it almost overtakes the Statue of Liberty in addition to the weight of the city. And it's going to... Shut up. God, shut up.
Again, not a single one of their predictions has ever panned out. Not one. They're wrong every time. And yet they keep making them.
They sure do.
And people keep believing them.
1.68 trillion pounds.
1.68 trillion?
Yeah. Huh. That doesn't seem like...
that doesn't seem like enough.
That's the weight of...
all of Manhattan?
The cumulative weight of New York City's buildings.
Wow.
1.68 trillion pounds.
But that's not with the people. That's just the buildings.
How many people are named Jeffy?
When Jeffy lived there, it was 4.8 trillion pounds.
So you would come in to the city on the train, and then the city would just be like this.
Yeah, it would tilt. And we were worried that it would tip over and capsize. Fortunately, Jeffy provided a counterbalance when he came, because he came to the right part of the island.
Fortunately.
So,
Fortunately, we don't anticipate that.
That it was Midtown Manhattan.
Yes.
There was more fun stuff happening in Washington, D.C. yesterday. The Associated Press reporter, Matt Lee, we've talked about him in the past.
Oh, yeah,
it's been a while, but he's really good. He noticed something about State Department email addresses. Check this out.
Have you gotten any emails from any of your colleagues in the last, before you came out here, obviously not while you've been at the podium, but since about noon or so?
Why don't you get to your question?
This is my question, dude.
What's your question?
Are you able to look at them right now?
My email? Yeah. I'm not going to pull up my email from the podium.
No, you don't need to show it to me.
Yeah.
I want to know if you've noticed anything different in the from line where it gives the sender.
Okay, so now he's going to pull it up.
Matt, this would be a lot better if you would just ask us what your question was.
Well, I mean, you haven't noticed anything?
No.
Okay, so within the last hour and a half, 2 hours, the State Department's internal email system, and I've tested this, so I know that it's true, has added pronouns to people's, not their signature, but to their, where it says from.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it will say him, he, his, or she,
or they, them.
Why? This is not an optional thing. This is something that has been just arbitrarily imposed. And I understand that people could have their pronouns attached if they wanted them to a signature before, but this is not something that anyone has a choice about. And so I'm just wondering why and who made this decision.
Well, Matt, I have not seen this phenomenon for myself.
Okay, well, I have, and I'll show it to you.
And is it just, to ask you a question, is it just for internal State Department
Obviously not, because I tested it.
So
I got an email from someone in this building, and whereas before it did not have any of these pronouns attached to the sender's name, it now does. And I've also been told from other people that many of them, or at least...
Well, when you send it, does it have the...
I'll show it to you in a second.
Well, what I will just
if you don't
say-
know anything about this, then that's fine. Can you look into it? Because I'd like to know why.
I'm happy to look into it. What I
This
will
should
just...
not be an optional thing for people to do. But the problem is that a lot of them, or at least some of them so far as I've been able to tell, are wrong. They're giving the wrong pronoun. So men are being identified as women and women as men, and this has nothing to do with whatever transgender or anything like that.
Jeez.
But it's ridiculous.
This phenomenon has not made its way to my outlook, but I'm happy to check on this for you.
I just told you about it, so can you
broadly
get an explanation?
Matt, of course, the ability for
I don't have a
individuals
problem with doing it, and if people want to have their
already said that.
their whatever pronoun attached to it is fine, but it should be a choice, right? Not something that is the State Department imposes on people, especially if.
Thank you, Matt.
It's wrong.
I will look into this. I'm not aware. Thanks, everybody. Happy Thursday.
That's your spokesperson for the State Department.
Yeah, State Department right there.
Yeah.
We've got some great people working in this administration.
Yeah, and they're making great decisions like that one, where they're just imposing pronouns on people and getting the pronouns wrong, apparently.
I'm just watching.
That's a trial. It's a trial run.
That's great.
I'm just watching that clip thinking, how far we have evolved from those crazy days when Thomas Jefferson was...
yeah, those were crazy times.
When the emails that he used to send?
Secretary.
Man.
I think his pronouns were he, him, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't recall.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they were he, him.
I mean, this is a bizarro world.
Sure is.
I mean, there's nothing makes sense.
It's nuts. My gosh. Let me tell you about Moink. Moink delivers grass-fed and grass-finished beef and lamb, pastured pork and chicken, and sustainable caught wild Alaskan salmon. And they deliver that straight to your door. Moink farmers farm like our grandparents did. And because of that, Moink meat tastes like it should, because the family farm just does it better. Yeah. Really delicious stuff. The best bacon you'll ever have.
I know, and that's serious business now. I mean, I love their bacon. It is
really, really good.
Fantastic.
You choose the meat delivered in every box, like ribeyes to chicken breasts to pork chops, salmon fillets. The salmon's really incredible too. Really, really good. Think you're going to love it. Keep American farming going by signing up at moinkbox.com/unleashed. Sign there right now, and listeners to this show get free bacon in your first box.
Nice.
The best bacon you'll ever taste, and this is just for a limited time, though. It's spelled MOINK, moinkbox.com/unleashed. That's moinkbox.com/unleashed. Just a little bit more evidence that the country's completely spinning out of control. We mentioned Dianne Feinstein's situation earlier this week a couple of times. First of all, when she was being wheeled back into the Senate, it was late last week, early this week, I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah, whenever they rolled her back in.
She asked them where she was going. Where are you taking me? Okay.
Well, I mean, that's a fair question.
It's a fair question.
You're in a wheelchair. You're recovering from shingles.
Yeah.
And
you're headed into the Senate.
You're headed into a building that you've never been in before.
She's been there quite a few times. She's been there for 30 years. So,
like I said, she's never been in the building before.
Plus, you were just gone for almost 3 months with shingles.
Yeah.
And somebody asks you about how you're doing since you've been back, and you say that you never left. We actually have.
Oh, that's awesome, because
I
I
have the video from that now, right?
It's an audio clip.
It's an audio clip. Okay.
Oh.
Check this.
Here we go.
What have you heard?
What have I heard about what?
About your return. How have they felt about your return?
No, I haven't been gone.
She hasn't been gone.
You should follow me. I haven't been gone. I've been working.
You've been working from home, is what you're saying?
No, I've been here.
Oh, man.
I've been voting. Please, either know or don't know.
Wow, that's bad.
Oh,
you could apply that to yourself,
Puddin'.
Wow. I mean, she's indignant.
Yeah.
She's indignant.
Yeah, she's like, you should be following, and then.
Right.
And then you either know or don't know.
She's acting like he's a moron when she's the one who doesn't know she's been gone for 3 months.
This is, you know what? This is just complications from shingles.
Is that what that is?
This is just complications from shingles.
Oh, yeah. What's the, do we have the story somewhere about how it's actually, surprise, more than just shingles for her?
No.
Yeah. Is there something?
Encephalitis.
Yes. Swelling of the brain.
Okay. Swelling of the brain.
Yeah.
In addition to dementia, I guess.
Right.
Because we know she has that. She's also suffered from Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which occurred when shingles spread to her head and neck, and a case of encephalitis.
Yeah, that's the freezing up of the
swelling
of the
of
face,
the brain.
right? The Ramsay-Hunt stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
In a brief appearance in the Capitol this week, Feinstein appeared to have paralysis on the left side of her face. Yeah, that's the Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. And amazing. She's indignant that she's asked about how it's been since her return. She doesn't realize she returned. She's never been gone. She's been working the whole time.
It's embarrassing.
Are you kidding
dragging
me?
Her out
Oh
like
my
this.
gosh.
I mean, that's hurtful.
It is.
I mean, seriously, it's
It is.
hurtful.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
To her and to the nation.
What are we doing?
I don't know. We're committing national suicide. That's what we're doing.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're committing national
When you
suicide.
say it like that, it makes total sense.
I mean, the nation is having complications to shingles.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Encephalitis. Okay, little swelling of the brain. I mean, who among us hasn't had a little swelling of the brain and forgot where you were from time to time for the last 3 months? Not a problem. That's not a problem.
There has been a time or two.
Also, Senator John Fetterman, speaking of brain surgeons, he had a little message for us yesterday, too.
He did.
Oh, good.
He did. He was out in force in a sweatshirt.
President Biden needs to consider using the 14th Amendment if necessary.
This is a Saturday Night Live bit,
The
isn't it?
entire GOP debt ceiling negotiation is a sad charade.
Pause it for a
And that's
second.
exactly what
the sad charade is John Fetterman and Dianne Feinstein in the U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
That's the charade here. For him to use that word is really ironic. But he had more to say.
About what's wrong in Washington. We're playing with the livelihoods of millions just so the GOP can just turn the screws against hungry Americans.
Oh, here we go.
This is the whole reason why the 14th Amendment exists. We need to be prepared to be using it. Again, remember, say that again. We must
He's just
be
reading word
prepared
for word there.
in order to use it. And we cannot let reckless Republicans hold the economy as a hostage. And an unelected Supreme Court justice will try to blow up our economy. That's on them if they have to judge on that.
To judge on that.
If they have to judge on that.
It's on them.
Okay.
The unelected
if
Supreme
they have
Court
to
justice.
judge on that.
The unelected
Supreme Court justice.
Yeah.
If they're gonna
That looks like
judge on that.
That looks like an SNL bit.
It sure does.
I mean, you got two guys in suits and ties flanking him, acting all serious.
In a hoodie.
It's a nice looking hoodie.
Yeah, it's a new one. Doesn't have any stains on it this
Yeah.
time. So that's good. That's progress as he continues down the path of recovery.
Good.
Oof.
Is he recovering though? I don't know. He seems the same.
Well, he's continuing down the path.
He seems the same as he was during the campaign, and I don't know that there's any recovering for him. I think this is where he is now.
Was he reading that off a paper like that during the campaign? I don't know.
He had the big monitor. Remember that?
Yeah.
Giant letters.
Wow, Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Some tweets here. Austin tweets, can King Jeffy get his reparations paid in Hershey bars?
Does that make you happy, Jeffy?
Not necessarily, but okay.
JC No PC. I think 14 trillion is a fair number to demand from the DNC. Real EP tweets, reparations talk is picking up steam because the Dumbocrats know they're losing black voters by the day. This is perceived as the way to buy votes in the 2024 election.
That makes sense.
Calvin Weather WX? Weather? Where is the reparations for Civil War Union side who died to end slavery?
Don't start. Okay, we don't care about those people. Okay.
Well, they died a long time ago, too. Right? I mean, 600,000 Americans, but it was a while ago. Whatever. Okay. Tom Nicholas Sr., temps going up 1.5 degrees. Think of all the extra vegetables our plants will grow and oxygen our trees will make. Yay! You Ain't Country. Our local weather channel said yesterday that this summer is projected to be the coolest since 2012 in southeast Alabama.
Good.
Nice. I don't heard a prediction for Dallas-Fort Worth, have you?
It's going to be just under the surface of the sun.
Yeah, that's typical. Caves 45, they're right. They're not going to take your gas stoves. No effing way. They're just going to turn off your natty gas supply.
Yep.
Stop being ridiculous. Jacob.
Oh, that's a good point.
Jacob, her oldest. One bonus. If New York City does sink, Jeffy won't get stuck between it and the moon animo. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
I mean, a case could be made that I'm saving the city.
Could be made.
So I'm looking at your government predictions. So just know it's the opposite of this because this is NOAA. They're saying this is your summer. This is your seasonal outlook for summer America. Seasonal temperature. Yeah, so they're saying leaning above, as you can see. There's nothing that's going to be expected to be cooler, which means it will be cooler because this is the government saying it will be warmer than average. And then when it comes to precipitation, you can see it's going to be really wet in the east, which means it's probably, since this is the government,
could be the driest season ever.
Driest ever, going to be wet in the west. So there you go.
Yeah.
Do those charts have anything to do with the World Meteorological Organization? I think not.
Oh, what are they saying?
That's what I said. They're saying that it's going to be warm, right? That we're going up.
Yeah, that's the point. The degree and a half,
up,
right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Eden Pure thunderstorms because BOGO is back. Eden Pure is having their famous buy one, get one free deal on thunderstorm air purifiers. So when you buy one thunderstorm, you get one free. No matter how many you buy, you get an equal amount for free. So you buy 2, you get 2 free. You buy 5, you get 5 free. You buy 10, get 10 free.
Nice.
It's great. The thunderstorm will completely eliminate any odor in your home, even the worst odors like pet odors, Jeffy odors, cigarette smoke, urine, which Jeffy is responsible for a lot of that. Dirty diapers, again, Jeffy, and cooking odors. Now's the time to order. Eden Pure's buy one, get one free sale is this week only. So this is it. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com. Use the discount code PAT. EdenPureDeals.com. Discount code PAT. Shipping is free.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Before the top of the hour, we were talking about people who are mentally compromised in office. People like Dianne Feinstein, John Fetterman, and speaking of those, Joe Biden arrived in Japan yesterday where he struggled with his umbrella. This is kind of fun. I guess it was raining in Japan, and he had a little trouble.
Let's see what we got here.
Okay, stop for just a second. Is it because of... Pause it for just a second. Okay, before he starts struggling with this umbrella... Why do they have him coming out of the basement stairs? Does he not take the long stairs anymore on Air Force One?
I don't know.
Look at,
that's a good observation. Why is that? Is it because they didn't want the old man to fall on his face?
We saw footage of him at some event in Japan after this where he did almost fall down some stairs.
Really? I didn't see
that would have been, they were concrete stairs. That would not have been good for him.
Yeah, he almost did a face plant.
Yeah, that would not have
But then he
been good.
pretended like he was jogging down the stairs.
Right.
Oh, I meant to do that.
He did not.
And here he is.
Okay, here we go. It's raining. Why don't you get your umbrella?
He couldn't. He tried to shake it right before
he
shook his hand.
Is there not a button there that you push? And
that's newfangled stuff you're talking about. He's not used to that.
It's high tech.
He looks so lost when he talks to people.
He sure does.
Rahm Emanuel, the ambassador to Japan.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna open that umbrella. So he sees that the old man can't handle an umbrella himself.
There you go, Mr. President.
So Emmanuel,
but Emmanuel
doesn't
have
he can't reach him.
He doesn't have the big one though.
So and he's still got it under his arm. He can't figure it out.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. I don't know who
now, at least the Admiral has a hat on. But Joe's just out there in the rain now.
Well, the Admiral had an umbrella, and they put it down when he was talking to the press.
Now somebody else comes over and tries to shield him with an umbrella.
So I got one too here, guys. Look.
Oh, there it is! Yay!
He got it.
Yeah, he's got the big one.
He finally found the button.
What a loser.
Dumbass.
He sucks in so many ways.
Yeah.
He really does.
Everything he does pisses me off. Is there anything he does that pleases anybody? I don't think
so. I mean, Jill doesn't even travel with them anymore.
No, right.
Jimmy doesn't even hang out with them anymore. Yeah. She's completely done. That's amazing.
It is. It is. Yesterday, we discussed how Uranus got such a pounding that it tilted the whole, planet.
That's what happens sometimes.
Yep, it does. It did. It happened to him. So Pathead Atticus sent us a meme that lets us use the word Uranus yet again. The meme is, if men are from Mars and women are from Venus, I assume those other genders were pulled out of Uranus.
Hey-o.
Thank you.
Where's the rim shot?
Right?
Where's the rim shot? Okay.
I assume those other genders were pulled out of Uranus.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, man. So, also, if Liberty Mutual commercials with the Lemu, is it
Lemu the emu.
Lemu the emu.
No, none of them are good.
Oh,
none
that's
of
not
them
true.
Are good,
Some of
bro.
them are pretty funny.
Oh,
Some
come
of
on.
them are pretty
Lemu the emu
Yeah.
and Doug.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Kind of
Just
funny.
So tired of it.
There's some new ones that are funny.
Pathead Texas Bizzle has seen the light at the end of the tunnel and
good.
has tweeted out, "Oh, thank goodness, the era of Lemu, Emu, and Doug commercials may be coming to an end."
What?
They're at the add a kid stage.
All right, they added the kid, so now maybe they're on their way out.
Oh, yeah.
They got a little kid emu too.
Oh,
So look
yeah,
at that.
that's right.
Look at that. And then they drive around in a little toy car.
It's funny.
And
when the child cousin from down the street comes into the sitcom
it's
or the
time.
commercial, that means it's on its way.
And it can't happen soon enough.
I know.
Oh, no way.
I'm done.
They're
with
so
Lemu
bad.
the emu.
Funny.
Stupid.
You're not getting a helicopter done.
That's
I
not,
like those.
That's not funny.
It wasn't that
It's
funny.
really not funny.
Dumb commercial. All of them are.
Bud Light sales, speaking of commercials, still down about 25% from where they were a year ago. And apparently now they've come out with a camo beer bottle. This is going to fix everything.
There we go.
So they got that camo.
Okay,
there you go. See?
Look
at that.
We're men.
Yeah.
You sure that's not just a
it'll get-
regular Budweiser bottle? That's not Bud Light.
Or Budweiser.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not Bud Light.
Whatever. There you go.
But it's Anheuser-Busch reworking things, trying to get the men to like them again.
I noticed a guy the other day who was unloading a whole bunch of beer from a Budweiser long truck, and I just noticed, just based on what he had pulled out and had on the dolly there was no Bud Light. And,
I believe that.
And I asked him, I go, "Hey, how's the demand for Bud Light?" And he takes his earbud out, and he's like, "Oh no, it's bad. It's bad."
Yeah, I've never been asked that before.
Yeah, I think he's gone through this.
Yeah, I
routine
wouldn't want to
quite a
be a guy driving around in a Bud Light truck now either, because you just have to because you have people continually coming up to you going, "How's sales?"
That'd be irritating. Yeah, it would be irritating.
That's why I had headphones on.
Yeah.
So you'd have to tell the people like me.
Right.
Oh, well, I'm curious, bro.
Also, parents called police after an Illinois teacher offered LGBTQIA2 plus books to her students. An Illinois teacher of over 20 years had the cops called on her after she gave her middle school students the option of reading a book about sexuality and gender. Sarah Bonner held a book tasting for students in March and offered an array of fiction and nonfiction, including Juno Dawson's This Book is Gay, which quickly became the epicenter of a massive controversy when parents called police over the book choice. I wanted to give them a smattering of fiction and nonfiction to choose from on a day that we call Reading Monday, she said. We just read and celebrate books. Bonner learned that parents had gotten a hold of pictures from their 8th graders snapped on their phones of the book during class. The parents filed a police report against the teacher for child endangerment.
Oh, stop.
Uh-oh.
You're in favor of this?
Come on. They're in
You're
8th
fine with
grade.
this?
She's given...
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. No, continue. That's great. I'm glad that I hope we put her in town square.
I kind of want to hear him defend this position.
I do too. Yeah.
I hope we put her in town square.
And do what?
Just beat her silly with books.
Oh, that's good.
I hope they
put her in town square,
the
then,
I'm gay book and just
throw
beat
it at
the
her.
teacher with it.
Okay. All right. Well, I
gotta
think
use
that's
this
a little
book.
extreme, but
Yeah.
Do you?
Whatever.
Because why? They call the police on her.
It's a
Let's
little
get her
extreme.
arrested.
I think that's extreme, Jeffy. I disagree with you on that. The notion that I was putting children in danger because of books, I didn't feel safe. I knew I couldn't go back.
Oh.
Good.
That is good.
Good. The best-selling nonfiction book has been promoted by publishers as an informational guide for everyone, regardless of gender or sexual preference. It is also the 9th most banned book in America.
What's the title of it again?
It is called This Book is Gay.
This book is gay.
Okay. And Jeffy loves it.
Yeah.
And I think...
I don't love it. I just think it's silly. We're calling police on a teacher.
Yeah, is it extreme to call police?
Yes.
Maybe. The day after she learned of the police report, Bonner received a letter saying she had been placed on administrative leave at Hayworth Junior High School. If I'm at a safe place and I'm leaving, what does that do for our students? She asked. What about the kids? That's always been a question rooted in everything I do.
Oh my gosh, this is okay. I just looked up that book to see which one it was.
This book is gay?
Yeah, this is the one that I've seen going around. I didn't know it was that title. That has drawings of, it's oral sex between a couple of individuals here.
Because that never happens in 8th grade.
Yeah, in a book given to you from the school district or a teacher. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's not...
Was it banned, though, from the school district?
Was it banned?
From the school district?
It wasn't part of the...
Was she going behind the district's plan on reading? I don't know. I'm asking. I honestly, I don't know.
What town was this again, Pat? Do you know? This is Illinois somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, it was part of the state curriculum that has this particular
Illinois,
book banned
I
or
wouldn't put
whatever.
it past that state that it might have been.
Just as an Illinois teacher. Doesn't give the city.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, she was put on leave, so it's possible that she was going against their rules.
Yeah, it is possible. So they've got pictures of it or drawings or what was it?
Yeah.
Drawings?
Yeah, this book has come up quite a bit. I just hadn't put two and two together with that story there.
I don't think 8th graders need to have that access to that book. You can read something else.
I mean, seriously, we've gone now in this country from, remember when it used to be a big deal that you would even teach sex ed to children?
Yes.
To now, hey, here's a book with pictures of kids having oral sex. All right.
I mean, I made a fortune selling those magazines about that age, so.
I bet you did.
That's a great story.
Bet you did. Let me tell you about Jace Medical. Let me paint you a picture for a moment. What would it be like if all of a sudden the global medication supply chain of antibiotics just disappeared right before our eyes? You think that couldn't happen? It is happening in some cases.
It sure is.
I mean, we are running out of medicine. Most of our medicine in this country is manufactured in places like India and China. And you could bet they're going to take care of their own needs before they worry about ours. And if China ever has a problem with us, they could cut us off from our supply of medicine. So it would be great if you're prepared with the Jace case from Jace Medical. It's a great way to keep yourself prepared for the worst. It's a pack of 5 different courses of antibiotics that you can use to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses. Things like UTIs or respiratory infections, sinusitis, skin infections, lots more. It's a great way to be ready for shortages. It's perfect for traveling. Don't get caught unprepared. Go to jacemedical.com and enter the promo code PAT at checkout. That's promo code PAT at jacemedical.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Man. 888-933-93 Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
What?
That's the rest of the show right there. That's good. Just
looking at this King County Regional Homelessness Authority in Washington State. They had a little meltdown recently.
Oh no.
Yeah, because what they tried to do was to put a repeat sex offender on the committee. And there were some objections to that.
What?
From haters who were on the board. I can't take these people who are so biased and bigoted against.
So he was a former sex offender.
Yeah, well, yes, and he had actually actually sex offended one of the people on the board, and she, she was a little upset that they were putting him on the board.
Let it go.
When she had been touched inappropriately by the guy.
How long ago, though? I mean, the guy.
I think it was months, but
get over it.
So Thomas Whitaker, also known as Raven Crowfoot.
Love him. Love Raven.
I can tell where this is going.
38-year-old male who identifies with the LGBTQIA2S+.
Oh, no.
And American Indian / Alaska Native / indigenous community.
This guy gets it all.
See, he's going to get reparations
That's
from
awesome.
all over the place.
That's awesome. Raven Crowfoot. Man.
He sailed through the confirmation process until hateful board member Christina Sawicki raised an alarming objection. She said, "Can I say something? We have a code of ethics on this board, and Thomas Whitaker Raven Crowfoot is Crowfoot. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not Crowfoot, it's Crowfoot.
Easy.
Is a sex offender, a repeat sex offender, and I've had a bad experience with him myself." Yeah.
So what?
Drama.
He didn't get voted in. He was
sailing through. Yes, he was being voted in. Then she raised the objection
as part of this homeless team or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
Yes, he touched her inappropriately, and so. If he were voted onto the board, she said she would not attend any meeting at which he was present. What a hater. What a hater.
Wow. That's amazing.
Whitaker, apparently, Whitaker Raven Crowfoot has a lengthy history of inappropriate relationships with underage girls. In 2010, when he was 25, he was convicted of harboring a runaway 13-year-old. With whom he also had a sexual relationship.
I mean, did he tell the other lady on the board, "Look, you're too old now"?
He did not.
Don't worry about it?
No, he didn't.
You'll be fine? No?
He didn't tell her that, no.
Okay.
No, but 2 years later, he pled guilty to felony communicating with a minor for immoral purposes, though he had originally been charged with raping a 15-year-old. Then in 2018, when he was in his early 30s, he allegedly shared a tent with a 17-year-old girl.
And this person was just sailing through.
He was sailing through the nomination process.
Sailing through.
Yeah, until this hateful objection. This hateful objection from this woman.
So he rapes a teen in 2015, and he's wandering around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what are the odds that a member of the board was one of his victims until you read through, about 200? I thought,
pretty good.
Okay,
the odds are pretty good, apparently.
Okay, now I got it.
How does this person Raven's been a busy Crowfoot.
Get this far? It's just,
my gosh.
What a world, man.
Jeez.
But this is King County, right? So that's Seattle. And
Yeah. That's they're crazy there.
Yeah.
They're stark raving crazy.
Yeah.
So they continued through the nominating process with the sex offender.
Oh, wow. They did not. They're gonna let these alleged accusations of misconduct
and listen
stop
to this.
them.
Here's what one of the other board members said. "I'm actually glad that this is the case, that he's here, because sex offenders are another population that's most vulnerable that don't have housing. People do change."
Yes.
When Sawicki still expressed misgivings, Colston's anger reached a fevered pitch. "Stop!" he screamed. "As the co-chair, I'm telling you that you cannot talk like that in this meeting. I will not have that here. If anyone wants to talk like that, you will be muted and even removed from this meeting, board member or public or not. This is about equity," he said.
Oh, is it? Is it?
I can't believe. Again, the concerns of women don't matter. Don't matter at all. If you're a sex offender, if you're trans, if you're a member of the LGBTQIA2+ community, you are guaranteed whatever it is you want.
Yep.
We're just going to cave and give it to you. I mean, that's unbelievable. The guy screams, and everyone deserves housing. I don't care if they're a sex offender. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're indigenous. I don't care if they're a criminal. And this guy's all of those things, by the way. Yeah. I don't care if they're coming out of jail, prison. Everyone deserves housing. Especially this guy, because, again, he's all of those things and more. Sawicki then repeatedly placated Colston and asked her to move on with the meeting. And after a few more snide comments, Colston eventually complied.
Wow.
Gosh.
She gave in.
Unbelievable. Yes, the woman who had been inappropriately touched by the sex offender, who objected to the sex offender, who had raped teenage girls in the past, she's just shut down.
Yeah, she gave in. And she stopped.
And the meeting continued, and I guess it doesn't say whether or not he continued to sail through, but I think so.
Certainly sounds like it.
Yeah, it does.
And will she walk out? Will she not participate? Probably not.
Probably not, because now she's been revealed as a hater and a bigot.
Yeah.
What a world!
Now we don't know if Crowfoot has,
Yeah, Raven Crowfoot
repented and
we
asked
don't
for
know.
forgiveness.
We don't know.
And,
that's right.
That's tried.
So you would have voted to push the nomination?
Well, I would have asked if he's, if he felt sorry for any of his.
Would you have asked?
Occurrences.
Because it's none of your business, really. Okay, it's none of your business.
I'm on the board.
Who are you?
If I'm on the board,
I'm sorry, you can't ask that. I will not have it. I won't stand for it. You may not ask.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Anybody see the fabulous Glenn Beck special last night?
The Biden crime family.
Yeah, the Biden crime family. Got a little snippet from it. Here's some of what was discussed on the special.
Ooh. Democrats and the media want you to zoom in to this entire picture and focus on Hunter's potential tax and maybe gun violations. They want it very clear that Joe Biden was not involved, and voters agree with that. Okay, is that really the picture? They're zooming into what they want you to see and leaving everything else out of focus. It's what they do all the time. Let me show you a photo.
Okay.
Is this a Nike commercial? Or is it an incredibly incompetent president falling off his bike? Here's a really cool picture of the presidential seal on Air Force One. How cool is that? Is that the picture? Or is it the commander-in-chief of the world's most powerful military stumbling multiple times to make it up the stairs? This is how it works. This is exactly how they want you to see the crime family that is the Bidens. This text message: unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half of your salary. Wow, that seems weird. Let's zoom out to this. Zoom out further to this. The bigger picture becomes a lot more clear, and things they don't want you to see also become more clear.
There's a lot there. How long was it? It was a couple hours.
Yeah. And I don't know if the promo code still works, but you can go to BlazeTV.com.
Yeah, if you want to see it again,
BlazeTV.com/Pat.
Or if you missed it and you want to see it for the first time,
I would go to BlazeTV.com/Pat and use the promo code FEDUP.
Now,
and if that still works, you get 30% off.
Nice.
So that's pretty sweet.
And you saw on the screen there, thereckoningguide.com. You could sign up to get the Biden crime family dossier. This document outlines a staggering number of crimes Joe and Hunter Biden appear to have committed. And so you give them your email address, and we'll send it to you.
Awesome.
TheReckoningGuide.com.
I tried to get in.
You did?
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah. I'm blocked.
That's because we have something to tell you after the show today. Your internet access is not the only thing you're not going to have access to.
Boy, don't spoil the surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's Friday. That's when they do it.
You go to a couple of websites.
If you could, just meet Glenn at his office with a box. This is great. Jada Pinkett Smith says she blames white supremacists for the flop of her new Netflix docudrama series.
Somebody had to say
Do you, Jada? Do you?
Yeah. Queen Cleopatra, because there's only one explanation, and that's white supremacy.
It has to be.
It was so terrific. It was so well done. A, it sucked.
It sucked.
B, people want it to be accurate. If, again...
At least close.
Again, if you present Rosa Parks as a white person who refused to sit in the back of the bus...
I mean, you can't even propose something like that.
You can't even propose it. No, you can't. There would be such an uproar that you wouldn't be able to handle the blowback.
Yeah.
But it's okay, I guess, to make Cleopatra into a black person, despite the fact that even in Egypt they're saying she wasn't black.
Plus,
stop rewriting history.
Plus, Jade is trying to get back in the news a little bit. You know, she had her show canceled. Zuckerberg canceled the Red Table Talk or whatever that she did on Facebook for a long time. That was her main deal. And
Red Table Talk?
It was Red Table or Red Table Talk or something like that.
Is that the podcast where Will came on and they talked about her cheating on him?
Yeah, and it was with her mom and stuff, and they talked about that.
And they canceled it.
But that's been canceled, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Zuck pulled the plug on that.
Wow.
So she's just looking for some news.
Darn.
Shoot.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet, and now it's gone.
Well, that's why the archives are there.
Yeah, okay.
You can go enjoy
Are they
those.
there?
I
have they been?
I don't know the answer to that.
But the show has an abysmal 1% approval score. That's all white supremacy. You know that, right? You know that. It also caused a huge backlash, of course, as I mentioned, in Egypt by inaccurately portraying Cleopatra as a black woman. As part of Jada's woke crusade, she forced the show's producers to change the race of Cleopatra to match her own. God, jeez. And then you wonder why the thing wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Then you wonder.
Well, it couldn't have had anything to do with, I don't know, the rest of the show.
Yeah, just being not good.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I hear.
Cleopatra was Greek, which means she was fair-skinned, not black, according to former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, Zahi Hawass. SlayNews.com reported, according to the LA Times, Cleopatra was born in the Egyptian port city of Alexandria in 69 BC and succeeded her father in 51 BC to rule until her death in 30 BC amid the expansion of the Roman Empire. Egyptologists have confirmed that she was Macedonian Greek on the side of her father, Ptolemy XII. But her maternal heritage is less clear. Little is known about her birth mother's ethnic origin. Historians have said that it's possible that she or other female ancestors were indigenous Egyptian or from somewhere else in Africa. Egyptian lawyer Mahmoud al-Samari filed a complaint with Egypt's public prosecutor to request that Netflix be blocked in the North African nation.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
You'd think, really, I don't have it's kind of strange. It was, and I don't know the answer to this, but was it presented as a documentary, or was it just presented as a based on a true story, Cleopatra? Because I really don't have a problem with Cleopatra being black or whatever color if the story's good. if it's a good show. But if it was presented as a documentary,
historically accurate, then it's a problem.
So, definitely a problem.
No, and that's a good point, because I think of Hamilton. I mean, they did an excellent job with that. Obviously, everyone knows the founding fathers, A, weren't black, and B, weren't rapping lyrics to each other.
Right,
it just
worked.
But yes, it was good. This was trash by all accounts. The writing, the acting, everything. And yes, to let you know, Netflix is listing this as a documentary.
Okay, well then, so there you go. Yeah. It goes against everything then.
And it says, but getting costumes wrong, getting basic timelines of battles wrong, placing Cleopatra at events we know she was not present at.
White supremacy says that's a bad...
Mixing up things done by Anthony with those done by Octavian, and an unending series of errors just makes this impossible to watch.
Jada, you are. I thought you were smarter than that, but apparently not. Yeah, no kidding.
Apparently not.
Wow.
That's amazing, isn't it? All right, let me tell you about Preborn. We got some incredible news for you. We found out from Preborn that we were able to purchase, or they're able to purchase, 5 ultrasound
that's awesome.
machines.
Thanks to this audience.
That is outstanding.
You guys are incredible.
5 ultrasound machines. That is amazing because
sure
we got
is.
the 4th, I think, on the Friday before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So in the day and a half, they raised another one.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Pat Head's Call It Like I See It and Amy What's-Her-Face, who this was their brainchild, came to me and said, hey, we want to do something for Preborn and raise money specifically. And then this audience, my gosh, you guys are absolutely incredible.
Really incredible.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much. And the babies are going to thank you when they can, once they learn to speak after they've been born.
Right, we got it, yeah. What was the grand total amount raised?
Almost $80,000.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. So when a woman sees the ultrasound and hears the heartbeat and all of those things, they're far more like 80% more likely to choose life. And so that's why the ultrasound is so important. So if you can only give $1, that's, greatly appreciated. Each ultrasound costs $28. So, I mean, that's cheaper than a dinner out. You go to dinner with your wife or your husband, whatever, it's going to cost you more than $28.
Cost me more than $28.
Yeah.
Me alone.
So, maybe you'd even like to become a monthly sponsor. You'll receive photos and stories of lives you've helped save. To get involved, dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or visit preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, I've said this before, and you think I'm joking around, but I hope that Preborn sends us photos of those machines with Pat Gray bumper stickers on them. I'll tell you that. I want to see all 5 of them with Pat Gray bumper stickers on them.
Are there Pat Gray bumper stickers?
There ought to be.
Yeah. I don't know if we have bumper stickers, but if they are, maybe they'd put one on. I don't know. We'll see.
It better be.
But speaking of preborn and babies, the other day, this is Chip Roy was grilling an abortionist.
An abortionist. That's a good line to be known for.
Isn't it, though?
I'm an abortionist.
Uh-huh. And, well, a lot of them are. They're proud.
Yeah, this is tough to listen to, but this tells you what happens, man.
Check this out.
You serve as the Chief Legal and Strategy Officer at the National Abortion Federation, correct?
The National Abortion
Federation. In this role, have you ever
Federation.
spoken with anyone in the Biden Department of Justice or Biden administration specifically about FACE Act enforcement or abortion?
I have not.
Okay, so you as the Chief Legal and Strategy Officer for the National Abortion Federation, you have had no contact with President Biden's abortion task force.
Hello? Let me be accurate. I believe I may have had contact. I don't think so, but I may have. But on the issue of FACE enforcement, no, I have not.
Okay. In 2015, the Center for Medical Progress released a video in which you stated, quote, I'm like, oh my God, I get it. When the skull is broken, that's really sharp.
Oh my God.
I get it. I understand why people are talking about getting that skull out. That culvarium. Culvarium being an incomplete skull. When abortionists crush the skulls of babies to kill them, what physical risks are there for the baby?
What physical risks?
Well, they're dead. Then. Yeah.
Congressman,
he wants her to
thank you
say
for the question. It allows me to clarify that the media products you're referring to stoked a massive uptick in violence. Those heavily edited, misleadingly edited products caused 3 murders and 9 woundings in Colorado Springs in 2015.
The question was about the baby and the skull crushing that is, I think, a direct quote attributed to you.
Well, the folks who distributed those media products may have attributed something to me. I can't speak to
So, true or false? Did you say that?
Thank you.
I'm like, oh my God, I get it. When the skull is broken, that's really sharp. Did you say that?
It's impossible to know, Congressman.
Would you have said that? Is that something you would have said?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Play the video.
You don't know if you talked about the crushing of the skull of a baby. You don't remember having said something like that. I'm pretty confident I've never said something like that. I'm quite confident my colleagues here have never said something like that. Have you ever said something about crushing the skull of the baby, particularly in that kind of a setup?
I believe, Congressman, that we all came here today to agree that violence is never an appropriate response to policy differences.
That seems pretty violent, the crushing of the skull of a baby. I think that actually is the definition of violence. And I think the question here is whether or not we are going to acknowledge and recognize that reality and the extent to which now the federal government has been weaponized against the people who want to acknowledge that reality. That's the question. Mr. Houck has stood up and said, I'd like to recognize the reality of the violence against a baby. And by the way, the violence against the mother who's been sold a myth by radical leftists in the name of baby killing. They've been sold a myth that it is somehow healthy and good for them or better than for them. And if someone dares stands up like Mr. Houck, then he's been targeted, as my colleague acknowledged from this very dais, targeted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which we saw was weaponized specifically against the President of the United States, as we just saw in the Durham report, is weaponized against average citizens. Mr. Houck, do you think $38.5 billion is sufficient funds for the Department of Justice? Or do you think maybe it's too many funds if they're carrying out actions against people like you?
I would think it's too many funds.
I yield back.
Wow. Jeez.
That's how you deal with these people.
These abortionists won't recognize that there's any harm to the baby whatsoever. They won't.
How ironic that she's trying to say, that those videos you're talking about caused 3 deaths, which is not true. And secondly, the irony, did they not even see what they're saying? I mean, you're
incredible.
We're trying to save babies' lives, you freaks.
The National Abortion Federation, man, that's got to be a good place to work at.
Right?
What's the Christmas party like there? Huh?
You aren't kidding, man.
Jeez. Oof. You think they celebrate Christmas? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. What's the winter party like there?
Right. Exactly. Oh my gosh. It's just these people are so hideous. They're part of this death culture, and they just don't care. They couldn't care less. About the lives they're taking.
Okay.
And you know how you were saying, what animates these people? Is it just death? It's a death cult, which I think absolutely it does. But I thought Sweater Yams, who listens to the program, made a good point on Twitter. It was like, follow the money. Planned Parenthood, all these organizations make a lot of money selling baby parts. As grotesque as that is to think of, that's absolutely right. Yeah, follow the money. Absolutely. Great point.
What's in it for the representatives, though? What's in it for, I guess, contributions to their campaigns, the continued power?
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to imagine.
The government ends up giving them funding, right? Gives Planned Parenthood and these federations funding, and then they in turn donate to their campaign. So all just a money laundering operation.
I guess so. I guess so. All right. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got this story too. Is this another Little League baseball situation?
Yeah, what were we talking about? Umpires yesterday, Little League,
and the fights that they're getting into with coaches and things.
Fake Tyler Morgan, Pat Head sent us this story from his neck of the woods from a couple days ago.
A Versailles man. I'm guessing that's not Versailles, France. That's Versailles somewhere here.
Yeah, either Missouri or Illinois. I don't know.
A Versailles man who was umpiring a baseball game has been charged with attacking a Camden County Sheriff's deputy in Max Creek. Someone called deputies to Ballparks National on Saturday evening for a fight between an umpire and a player's parent. Jeez. Again, it's a great example for the kids. And there he is.
Get the call right. Okay, go on with your story. Get on with your
Thank
story.
you. Yes.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always missing from these stories is the context.
Thank you.
We need the context. We need to know, and I want to know the score. I want to know how many outs were the runners
Did it
on?
affect the outcome of the game?
Is this the bottom of the ninth?
Right.
I mean,
But anyway, back to your story.
Was the score 10-1 or was it 10-9?
Thank you.
You know,
we gotta know context before we start judging these people willy nilly.
Did you call a ball a strike
Thank
or
you.
vice versa?
How egregious was this call? Sir?
Yeah. So was this worth the fight? That's what we don't know.
No, we don't.
A woman told the deputy that an umpire had pushed her out of the way during a disagreement. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is.
I hate to see that happen.
I know.
Hate
Don't push
to see
women.
that
Come
happen.
on now.
Don't push
Well,
a
if she's
woman.
in the way, they're fighting. They're arguing over a call, and she's getting in the way. Move out of the way.
Argue from the kitchen, lady.
Get back to the bench. Nobody asked you to be out here.
Wait a minute. The bench with a woman on the bench? No.
No, the bench
we
on
don't.
the
Back
the
into the stands.
Yeah, back into your lawn chair. The men are playing.
Thank you. And coaching. Thank you. The umpire would not tell the deputy his name, started to walk away from the deputy. When the deputy tried to stop the man, witnesses said the man put the deputy in a chokehold and brought him to the ground. Probably not a good idea. Several bystanders helped the deputy to get out of the chokehold and take the man into custody. That's when the deputy identified the man as Neil Sidebottom. Now, there's part of your problem right there.
He's probably
Stupid
been
name.
angry for a while.
Yeah, he's been angry since he was born.
That's why he's an umpire.
Neil Sidebottom. That's unfortunate.
Okay.
I don't care who you are. That's unfortunate. Prosecutors charged Sidebottom with assault of a special victim and resisting arrest. He was held in the Camden County Jail on $100,000 bail.
Wow.
$100,000.
And the officer, I guess, had some damage. The officer's claiming that he was hurt, right?
Yeah, he had to be taken to the hospital and be
Kinda
treated for
wusses
injuries.
are we making into sheriffs up there?
The heck, really? From being put in a headlock? Well, a chokehold. Okay, so he had to go to the hospital and be treated for the injuries he got.
Did he, though?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
Oh, I think the Jeffy school of thought is you take the medical care there, right? Because you never know when you can sue later.
100%.
Because if you don't go to the hospital.
If you're, no question about that. You have to right then. You can never say, oh, I'm fine. Never say, I'm fine.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
That will hurt you in the
Jeffy's
long run.
rules for lawsuits down the road. Right?
Never. Any kind of accident, nothing. Are you okay? Do we need to call an ambulance?
No, I'm not okay.
Yes.
I think I
need to call an ambulance.
have some pain right now.
That's right, I
in
do.
my neck and my back.
I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now. I need some medical attention.
I just know I hurt. I hurt everywhere.
I need some medical attention.
I mean, you should be an attorney, quite frankly, because if you turn down that medical attention at the scene, you don't have that in your back pocket anymore.
Right. The fight is over there. Why weren't you? Why didn't you need help then?
Right.
You're telling us you needed help now and not then?
After you found out how much you stood to make?
Right. Yeah, you got to do that right then. But we go back to the baseball field. Do I think that parents should be fighting with umpires?
At Little League games?
Wait,
Again, it depends on the call.
Exactly.
I don't think they should be fighting. It does depend on the call.
7?
And they should be. I mean, it should be
Is
okay
this
to
game
holler.
7 or
right?
opening day?
You do. I've gotten in trouble with a few referees and umpires
You
in the
caused
past.
trouble at a Little League game?
Well, I've had some referees come over and tell me to zip it on the foot side of the football field before.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I could hear your voice booming from the stands.
Oh, yeah. They were unhappy with me.
I bet.
Well, then get the call right.
I'll say this, though. It's bad for the kids. We had in Houston, in Katy, where we played baseball, there was a kid whose dad showed up drunk all the time. And the poor kid was just so embarrassed by his
You know what's
dad.
bad for the kids, Pat? Is
Bad
having
for the
the
kids.
referees and the umpires making crappy calls in the
is
middle
true.
of a game that matters.
And yes, the dad is drunk enough to say something about it, okay?
Thank you.
He's not going to remain quiet. All right, he's a little bit liquored up, yes.
How else are these umps going to learn?
But right.
Thank you.
Unless you call them out. Can't let them keep getting away with that stuff. Ruin the integrity of the game.
So bad. All right, well, we are pretty much all out of time. We'll be back again on Monday. Hope you have a tremendous weekend. We've got overtime coming up.
Yeah, what do you want to do in overtime today? Any idea?
No idea whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do have some idea.
I see you keep reaching past the animal videos.
I do keep doing that, don't I?
Oh, no.
As I am wont to do.
Darn the luck.
There was a video sent to us from Pathead Mini Bomber. Do you know what that's about? Looks like fat people on a beach or something. No, you don't know.
Why
that
are you
one?
looking at me?
I don't know. I think Jeffy submitted that one.
Jeffy, you submitted this?
I did not.
Oh, wow.
You did not.
I'm not familiar with what that is.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.